Of this moment, what is your crack? Chocolate chip cookies and YouTube videos can be anything such as music you can't stop listening to, or a TV series, a food craving, etc. These mustard and sausage salami cracker things from the holidays. Reddit. At work or toilet it's Reddit, at home PS5. Boys, be honest, what makes a girl instantly unattractive? Toxic personality, bad hygiene, a laugh that sounds like a hyena, tobacco use. Not just limited to girls either, I guess. Bad smell. Asking this question instead of just reading the replies from the last 40 times it was asked. Brits of Reddit, why an electric tea kettle rather than a tea kettle on the stove? I believe the answer is that their outlets have a higher output and so heat up faster than they do on the stove. It's faster and more economical. Why wouldn't we use an electric kettle? American here that loves their electric kettle. Cats or dogs, and why? I love both, but I do prefer cats. I have a busy lifestyle and taking the dog on 2-3 walks a day isn't possible. Also, I have found that cats live much longer. Cars can be just as loving as a dog. Bunny, they're left out far too often. Yep. They both rock. Both. Yeah. Reddit. Who is your most annoying family member? Stepsister. She has found God in her older years, and BTW. That's fine if that's your thing, but she is not shy about telling you all about it about now. My drunk aunt. She gets hammered and tells stories about things she did back in the day that no family member should know. Probably me. You like your job? If yes, what do you do? I'm in sales. I love it. I make a fantastic income and it's a pretty easy and relaxed gig. Doctors, biologists of Reddit, what is the most terrifying disease you can get? The most terrifying disease I can think of is rabies. The thought of losing control of my body and mind, while knowing that death is inevitable, is truly horrifying. Going to try weed for the very first time. What are the do's and don'ts for a good experience? Try it around people that you trust. Know what you're smoking. Indica v sativa v hybrid. After 10 years of smoking weed almost every day, I still get paranoid with certain strains. It's not for everybody. How do you feel about students reciting the Pledge of Allegiance in school? If a family member with a mental illness is abusing you, should you accept it because they don't know how to behave properly? Getting the condition wasn't their fault, but managing it is their responsibility. Abuse is abuse. Doesn't matter the circumstances or who's inflicting it. If a genie showed up and offered one wish, what would it be? To have magical powers that I can control. Every time I want to purchase something, I have that exact amount in my account. Instant death. A supernatural being able to grant one's desires. 10 chicken nuggets. Peace on earth and an unending fuel source. If you can remove one condiment from existence, which one do you choose? Mayo. It creeps me out. Mayonnaise. Relish. Mayo. WTF? Pink sauce. Mayo. Mustard. Vomiting face. Vomiting face. Yellow mustard. Spicy or Dijon only. Tartar sauce. It's grim. Ketchup. If you could only subscribe to one streaming service, which one would you choose? Spotify. Pay Bob downstairs, he's got everything. Disney got Star Wars, Marvel, whole bunch of films. If you were a serial killer, what would be your signature thing to do after every murder? Wow, now this is a very interesting question for me to answer. I am just dying of laughter right now. Smiley face, smiley face, smiley face. You know them fake plastic lips with the kazoo built in? That would be left in the mouth of every victim. If you would be God for one day, what miracle would you do? Create an aggressive fungus that eats crude oil and turns it into oxygen. End all religion. I'd make the heat death of the universe happen tomorrow. Give people the infinite knowledge about the universe. Give all of them an ice cream to coke. Then of Reddit, when was the last time you cried? Why? This morning. My 4-year-old told me she was too big for daddy hugs and only wanted mommy hugs. I hadn't had my coffee yet, and I had a late night. So my emotional barrier was extra low. Nut allergic person here. How do different varieties of nuts taste different? Difficult question. You might just have to get an EpiPen and find out. People of Reddit, how do you escape your reality? I enjoy my reality. I avoid most TV news. Multiple vacations each year too. It depends. Sometimes gaming with online friends, sometimes drinking with real friends, sometimes just traveling somewhere else either with friends or alone. By learning about it, just zone out. People who have deleted social media. How do you feel now? I've deleted Instagram back in September and I just used it again from 25th to 31st. Now deleted again. I can't even explain the difference. I became a different person in a good way. My anxiety got better. I started engaging socially way better. What are the dumbest things you used to think when you were younger? I'm from Pennsylvania and had only heard of Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. I used to think Jesus was born in Pennsylvania. I thought adults were smart, that the actor/actress is the role they play. Like when I saw Johnny Depp outside of Potka, I was like, how? What do homeless people think the answer is to homelessness? I'm homeless. Mental health care, quality care is vital. Also programs to help people break out of the cycle are important too. What do you do in your last day of holiday before going back to work? Masturbate furiously, laze around and dread tomorrow aggressively. Work. Not a damn thing. Just being up and not sleeping. Started 2 of my resolutions. Smoked a bunch of meth. Getting holidays off? That must be nice. Embrace the anxiety. What do you hate about being single? Most people your age are married. Why aren't you? Most people your age are fucking dead. Yet every time I see you I'm not asking when's the funeral. Everyone asking why you're single. The lack of physical touch. Sometimes I just wanna cuddle with someone. Not having that go-to person or someone to come home to. What do you miss about being a child? All the free time for playing with friends. And naps. No worries, carefree summers, eating whatever you wanted, a whole future to look forward to. My stuffed animals not being deteriorated. My favorite one is hanging by a thread literally. I believe I was less anxious. What do you remember about elementary school? Being scared to ask to go to the bathroom. That pink hand soap in those square dispensers. I can imagine it so clearly. It was easy. No responsibility, no expectations, just super fucking chill. I miss being a kid. What event thing do you hope to see happen in your lifetime? Cancer cure. Aliens. I think it would be pretty cool to see fusion energy become a reality. Commercial space travel and a colony on Mars or the Moon would be cool too. Wireless electricity. Wireless charges are a start. What fact are you just tired of explaining to people? Nothing's wrong. It's just my face. If I'm working at night, I need to sleep during some portion of the day. What food is 10/10? Free food when you are hungry. Fresh made pizza with your favorite toppings. Garlic cheese beard. Tacos. French dip. Pho. Pizza. It's like sex. Even when it's bad it's good. Anything. With rice. PBJ. Pho. Coconut curry. Curry. It should be its own food group. What food would you eat every day if you could? Ribs. I had 4 plates of it in December. Prior to that I hadn't any for months. I'll still take a plate today if it wasn't a bit pricey. Fried chicken today, fried chicken tomorrow, fried chicken forever. Sushi. A really great hoagie. What homemade food is way better than the store-bought version? Kimchi. I've never had good store-bought kimchi. Cranberry sauce is so good made fresh. It's a completely different food from what's in the can. Meatloaf, soup, sausage gravy and biscuits. Pierogies, all of them. What is a common fact that you know is bullshit? Lightning never strikes twice in the same place. We humans use only 10 of our brains. That there are different tasting zones on the tongue. That video games cause violence. What is a compliment someone gave you once that sticks with you to this day? My primary school drama teacher said I was really good at acting, so I take that to mean I could have been a famous movie star but chose another path for myself. You have very strong but caring hands. What is not thought to be but is essentially gambling? Cryptocurrency. The games at Chuck E. Cheese and similar places. The stock market and day trading. Life. Day trading. Insurance. That's why it's prohibited in Islam. Australia's population. What is objectively the best candy? You want an objective answer to a subjective question? Peanut butter cups. Chocolate goodness. Peanut goodness. Kills off weaker humans. Objectively, of course. I like Swedish fish. Starbursts. What is something in your daily routine that gives you pure joy? My morning cup of coffee. Going out to feed Kevin, the feral peacock that has decided to live with us. He is not friendly, clacks his beak at me when breakfast is late, and sits on the bench staring in the house honking at us and scaring the cats. I just love that goofy fucker. Music. What is something people say in movies that nobody says in real life? There's no time to explain. 90 of pickup lines. Here's a few. Any last words? We've got company. Is that all you've got? On a sales call, damn it, what's my line? What is something you can't believe people like? Filler injected, gigantic fake lips. Wearing those tight-ass pants. Come bro, you know you're uncomfortable AF. France. The MCU. Whenever I see a MCU movie watched 6-7 movies it just feels soulless and created by a corporate AI. Cigarettes. Trump. What is something you were told you will get over when you were younger but have yet to do so? My depression. Ash leaving Pidgeot. Not going to Disney World when I was a kid. Autism. Even the psychiatrist said I was gonna grow out of it. Never did. What is the greatest fictional character of all time? Sherlock Holmes. Samwise. Bro had no powers, few skills, and no combat experience. But Frodo would have failed many times without him. Also he is one of the few characters who held the One Ring, was tempted by the One Ring, but still willingly gave it up. Uncle Iroh. What is the meaning of your life? Die, and transfer my energy to the environment. None. It doesn't need a meaning to be livable. To not have a meaning and just enjoy the ride. Whatever meaning you ascribe to it. Mine is to provide for my family, continue to learn, enjoy myself. I don't know. Do you know yours? What is the most beautiful place you have ever been? Windsor, Colorado. Arches National Park. Disneyland maybe. The outer islands of the 30,000 islands in Georgian Bay. Urban Paris, not urban Panama rainforest. Shark Fin Cove in California. Feels unreal that something so beautiful exists here. Yosemite. What is the most inconvenient curse you would want to wish upon your enemies? Wet sleeves. Always wet sleeves. They can no longer walk in the direction they are looking. Diarrhea. In stop-and-go traffic, with frequent sneezing. What is the most interesting documentary you've ever watched? The Act of Killing. The Office. Blue Planet. Specifically, the episode The Deep. I'll always be fascinated by weird marine life. The Century of the Self by Adam Curtis. It's on YouTube. Amy Senna. And I wasn't even a F1 fan. What is the most memorable nightmare you have ever had? I gave birth in my high school chorus teacher's office surrounded by the cast of our musical. I was a virgin and no one believed me, and I gave birth to a baby doll but everyone acted like it was real. What is the most nutty nut? Like when you think of a nut, what ubiquitous nut comes to mind? Peanuts. Not my favorite, but king of the nuts. Probably my dad. Macadamia nut. That was the one that would send her into going crazy. She'd say, would you stop naming nuts? Walnuts, but I like pecans better. D's. What is the nicest country you have been to? The USA. I've only been to USA, Mexico and the Philippines. I really like Scandinavia, Norway in specific. But people keep their distance a bit. Portuguese people are very warm, some beautiful places and nature too. What is your boomer opinion? I really don't want people I don't know on my lawn. Physical buttons to push, especially in cars. I hate touch screens. People are too loud. What is your favorite Indian food? Butter chicken. Hook it up to my veins. Sagaloo paneer. It's spinach, potato and paneer deliciously spiced in a curry. Eat it with rice and you have a yummy filling meal. No idea if it's an actual authentic Indian thing though or a British Indian takeaway thing like American Chinese orange chicken though. What is your favorite phrase saying that you use often? That's a problem for future us. It is what it is. There we are then. Yeah. Well. That's just like, your opinion, man. Cool bananas. Entropy when something goes wrong. Woot woot when something goes well. Da 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 do who when someone fails. That's what's up. Nice. Thank you. Sucks to suck. What is your opinion on OnlyFans? Plan B if I fail at university JK but it's so stupid that people actually get rich with that. We live in a society. People can monetize sex and they can pay for it. Why pay for something that is free? To each their own. Love everything about it. What movie can you watch again and again and never get tired of it? I'm not supposed to talk about it. Super Troopers. Hot Fuzz. Labyrinth. 10 Things I Hate About You. Ratatouille. As an alpha wolf, I love watching True Romance. Christian Slater is like a sex icon. He was one of the inspirations for who I am today. What physical trait do you find attractive that is not considered conventionally beautiful? I like big noses and I cannot lie. Thick body. A resting bitch face. My wife has vitiligo and I think it's beautiful. I really like cartoonishly large ears in a woman. And if her hair is tucked behind them, I'm sold. Thick thighs save lives. X. What problem do you choose to live with because fixing it just isn't worth the hassle? Paycheck to paycheck living. Everyone I possible can. I'm quite surprised and my it resolved itself. I forgot about it versus it became a bigger issue ratio. Slipped disc. Doctor told me it's not worth trying to fix and that living with it is my best bet. He was right. What quote do you try to live your life by? What scared you the most as a child? Chucky the doll, Pingu Newt Newt, The Dark, Vampires. Fuck you Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Fembots from the $6 Million Man, Michael Myers, Hallway at Night. What should be cheap and affordable but is not? Tampons, pads, birth control. Any product that is needed for women that is considered a luxury in today's standards. Living your life. Insulin, housing, water, rent as a fellow New Yorker. Toiletries and hygiene products. What song can you listen to again and again and not get tired of it? Comfortably Numb. Come and Get Your Love by Redbone. Brand New Sick Transit Gloria. Take On Me. Wildflowers Tom Petty. Stairway to Heaven Led Zeppelin. Don't Fear the Reaper. I Want to Break Free Queen. Africa Toto. Jerry Rafferty Right Down the Line. What taste would toothpaste be if peppermint and mint didn't exist? You are aware there are more toothpaste flavors than those two. Cinnamon. Mass-market strawberry-flavored toothpaste is such a missed opportunity. Vanilla. Cool Ranch. Bug. Green tea. Mashed potatoes. Bubble gum. What the hell are you waiting for? I'm waiting to transfer my wet clothes to the clothes dryer. Jay-Z has joined the chat after me. There shall be no more. My ship to come in. I'm not. I'm just incapable of doing anything. My food to cool off. To get home. An opportunity for someone to take my skills seriously. I think she's taken. What the most annoying type of Redditor? Supermods. They seem pathologically abusive of their position. Trolls. Those who confuse their opinion for absolute fact. The you're correct, but I'm more correct so I want to argue about it. Usually the actually person. But not always. Indian reposter bots. Noir. What was the biggest mistake your parents did? My dad married a woman who had a 39-year-old son that was living with her. I was 40 at the time, and living with my dad. But he was a massive idiot the first long period after our parents moved together. Forced religion on me. Get the milk. Have me. What will you always find funny no matter how old you get? Dogs doing stupid things. SpongeBob. Sophomoric humor. Farts loudly. Children getting hurt because they were stupid. Fart are always funny across ages, genders etc. I find burps on the other hand have an expiatory date on how funny they are. Someone tripping and getting hurt. What would be a weird thing to collect? Human eyeballs. Strangers' pubes. Toenail clippings of the neighbors. Fingernail clippings. Urinal cakes from all the urinals you pissed in. Teeth. I'm looking at you tooth fairy. Nose hairs. Children in my basement. Used condoms and I knew someone who did. Bodies. What would be the one thing you want to take with you to prison if you have to? The letters Y and O, apparently. Good set of whites. The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexandre Dumas is a perfect read for prison. It's about a guy who is wrongfully imprisoned, and how he plots his revenge from the inside. It's great fun. Woman, my pet rats. What would you choose? Should you embrace optimism, pessimism, or realism in the new year? Realism will always have a tendency towards pessimism. I will really try to go for optimism on this one. I personally unfortunately always embrace pessimism, but I guess your best shot would be to go for realism, especially after the horrific couple of years we've just had. What would you do if everyone disappeared instantly? Disappear instantly. Stack up all the books I'd finally have time to read. Then accidentally break my glasses. Probably enjoy some peace. Enjoy the peace and quiet. At least until the power grid fails. What would you do if someone points a rocket launcher at you? I would be very surprised if someone came into my library with a rocket launcher. I suppose that I would say something like, "Sir, no weapons are allowed in the library. I'm going to have to ask you to put that down." And then I would try to de-escalate the situation. Start zigzagging. What would your autobiography title be? Fucked. Anxiety Prime. Doubts Arising. Ken of S.H. Storm. A Life Truly Lived. So that just happened, the rise and fall of this guy. It sounds nuts, but all this actually happened with proof. The greatest woman who ever lived. Smiley face. Procrastination. Then the whole book would be blank. What would your parents be surprised to hear about you? That I don't have to relive their lives. I believe in God. I'm weird as fuck. I've been high weed and have been drunk before. What you do if you could freeze time? Recite every line Dio has. Pee on famous statues. Take a break. Just go for a nice walk around my city and truly take a moment to breath. Eat for free. Civic duties. Probably some very mundane stuff and maybe some NSFW illegal stuff when I'm more comfortable and confident. Have a long nap. Rob places. What's a hobby someone can have that is an immediate red flag? Posting everything, every single thing on social media. Mouthless face. Fog. My old roommate used to go out driving on rainy days specifically to splash pedestrians. That seems pretty red flaggy to me. Dogfighting. What's a job career that shouldn't exist? David Graeber wrote a whole book about this bullshit jobs. For starters, in the US, half of the health insurance industry and 99% of finance could disappear and we wouldn't be any worse off. ATF agent. Landlord. What's a telltale sign a friendship is fake? They always seem to be telling you about the cool shit they did, yet never seem to be inviting you to any cool shit. They take and take and take but never give. They are always too busy to spend time with or talk to you but never are too busy to hang out with their other friends. They only come around when they want something. What's a total waste of money? Slot machines, bottled water, strip club dancers. Buying coffee out. The markup is insane. Scratch-off tickets. Garden gnomes. OnlyFans. The GOP. Cigarettes. Not investing. Trump University. What's an easy way to save money? Drink water. Wait a day before you spend it. Cook your own food. Don't save what is left after spending but rather spend what is left after saving. In other words, pay yourself first. What's an interesting or mind-blowing fact about dinosaurs? Tyrannosaurus rex lived closer in time to today than to Stegosaurus. They were around so long that a T-Rex lived closer to the time of the iPad being invented than the time Triceratops were alive. What's brought a surprising amount of joy to your life? My dog. My best friend. Pets. Having a high amount of disposable income. Drugs. What's something that would improve your life immediately other than money? A better job with less stress. Some good news. Serotonin. Lottery numbers for tomorrow. Better mental health. Having all my family members be healthy. Mental health. Never having gotten COVID. I miss my sense of smell, and being able to breathe after I walk up a flight of stairs. What's something we all just pretend no one does, but in truth we know we all do it? Making up fake scenarios in our head. Trying to fart carefully so that it doesn't make too loud of a sound. What's something you believe in and why? Me. Because, who else will? Naps are not a waste of time. I believe in ghosts from videos that I've seen and personal experiences. I believe death is the end, because I think the idea of eternity life, no matter how great it may seem, is something terrifying. So I hope it is. What's something you hide from everyone? My organs. My sadness, despair and depression. That I can actually sing. My egg salad recipe. I think everyone had music they only listen to when nobody is around and they don't speak on it. What's something you'd like to do every day for all of 2023? Breathe. Hug my wife. Listen to music. What's the best animated movie you ever watched? Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island. Megamind. Despicable Me is the best. What's the best animated show you've watched? Over the Garden Wall. Probably still Futurama. Avatar: The Last Airbender, even its sequel, Legend of Korra, was pretty dope. Avatar: The Last Airbender and Star Wars: The Clone Wars, also Pokemon, but I guess that's more nostalgia than anything. Cowboy Bebop. I have to go Boondocks on this one. What's the best comeback to being called woke? What do you mean by that? Then they have to admit that they just want to be a bigot because all they can really say is something akin to "you care about not being a bigot." Or they'll call you a snowflake, in which case you respond, "But you were the one offended enough to start calling me names." What's the best piece of advice you've ever been given? Never lend money you can't afford to ever see again. Also, loan money with the expectation that you're never going to see it again. In relationships, it's not you and you're so against each other, it's both of you against the problem. Drink some water, you piece of shit. Get a plunger before you need one. What's the best smell on earth? Petrichor. Weed. Vanilla. A freshly opened box of Fruity Pebbles. Garlic cooking in butter. I love the smell of napalm in the morning. Fresh bread. Rain. Fresh laundry. My wife fresh out of the shower, ready to be eaten as a bonus when they open the drive-through window at Tim Hortons. Fresh asphalt. What's the biggest unanswered question? Who let the dogs out? What's in Area 51? What happens after we die? Where the universe came from and what it is? What came first, the chicken or the egg? Why do we pay to live? If man developed from monkeys, why do we still have monkeys? Thread. Why? Nobody can answer nothing, but what is nothing? What's the first game you played in 2023? None yet. The wanking game. Injustice 2. Brawl Stars. Sparkles. Stellaris. I was continuing my hard mode run on FF7R, and got burnt out and needed a Bloodborne run. GeoGuess. I just lost the game. Mine while testing it XD. RuneScape. What's the most annoying video game NPC? Hey listen. Do you go to the Cloud District often? Bah, of course you don't. A settlement is in danger. What the fuck are you doing? My brother died at the Battle of Hoover Dam. You're desecrating a war memorial. Do you get to the Cloud District very often? What am I saying? Of course you don't. Nazim 24/7. The escort NPCs. They always go slower than your running speed, but faster than your walking speed. They want to attack everything in sight. The adoring fan is Elder Scrolls 4. First Tomb Raider on PC, where that creepy-ass mouth-breathing butler would keep following you everywhere around the mansion with that silver tray. Only way to get rid of him was to bait him in the freezer and lock him. By Azura, by Azura, by Azura. Knock knock. Dave, her fuck off. Any that you have to escort. What's the stupidest argument you got into? My wife and I once argued about whether or not I liked mustard on my sandwiches. I argued that I did. She argued that I did not. It went on way longer than you would imagine. Cleaning the shower after every use. Pretty much any argument with a flat earther. No, it's not. What's the weirdest thing about your country? More bicycles than people. Trying to bring back the fascism we're ostensibly proud of defeating. My country invented the doner kebab while most citizens of my country think it's a Turkish dish. Half of the country drinks milk from bags. What's the worst name you've heard a parent name their child? Xayer 12 Musk. I had a friend named Isaac. Which isn't unfortunate. His last name, however, was Hiscock. His father laughed every time he told the story of how he got away with naming his son Isaac Hiscock. If you're out there, Izzy, you are an awesome friend and I miss you. What's the worst response to I love you? Thanks. I love me too. I know. Ew. Or some variant thereof. We should break up. Why are you in my house? Read 10:37 p.m. Okay. Are you really this lonely? That's your fault. I can't love someone who makes this poor of choices. Elephant shoe. Okay. Mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. Who the fuck is U? Ignored, ghosted. My butthole itches. K. Okay. Who asked? I love cake. I don't feel the same way. Silence. Move any closer and I'm calling the cops. I missed the part where that's my problem. It'll pass. Ew. Ditto. Your loss. That's nice. Ooh, am I like you? Just a scoff or a chuckle. We need to talk. I love cake. Silence, ho. Well, I don't. Cool beans. And you are? Nuclear launch detected. Good info. Farts aggressively. What's worse than morning wood? The Holocaust. Donald Trump. Morning wood. Global warming. Wiping an ass that never seems to get clean with only 3 minutes left before you must leave for work. Not being able to get wood. Waking up to find you shit yourself. What's your best I like my men women like I like my coffee joke? I like my women like I like my coffee without another guy's dick in it. Ground up and in the freezer is my go-to version of that joke. I like my women like I like my cereal. With nuts. I like my women like I like my COVID-19 and easily spread. What's your best workplace survival tip? Don't gossip. Keep your head down and do extra until everyone likes you, then chill out and be yourself. Go, do your job. Don't interact with anyone there beyond the necessary. Use your sick leave and annual leave. You have earned them. What's your favorite animal? Grizzly bear, wolf, African grey, desert lynx or giraffe, water bear, heffalumps. Myself, I'm like an alpha wolf in my main personality. Humans because they are the only animal you can legally have sex with. Penguin, ferrets, cow steak. What's your favorite song that is not in English? Du hast. Anything from Domar or Ose du Vahavala. My 5 favorite songs aren't in English, Finnish, Japanese and Italian, so it's Rauta Korpiklani. Go by Flo. Sante by Stromae. Engel by Rammstein. Chala Head Chala. Formidable Stromae. Clandestino by Maina Cow. When did you realize that you were getting old? I started having to scroll to find my birth year when signing up for something online. When you think college kids look like high school, you call them kids. When my hangovers started lasting 2 days, so stopped getting drunk. I got excited last week because I bought a new soup bowl.